Okay, just wanted to show you guys what this looks like with the little add-on parts installed. Just took a few moments and put these on. Everything went as planned. You know, you guys can find thousands of videos out there on how to replace these parts if you want to. But this is the new magazine release button. So you guys can see it is extended. And again, I really like the extended versions. They make a world of difference, at least for me. It feels like you don't have to push the button in until it's flush or even a little over flush at sometimes. It's just nicely contoured, so you're not going to have any issues with anything running into that, I don't think, or it snagging on anything. Really nice button. Slide release I'm going to test out for a little while. As you guys can kind of see, it does get out there a little ways. Okay. So, which is nice because, you know, it gives you a little something else to push on if you do release it that way, which I have a tendency to do. I'm not necessarily a slingshot type guy. I usually just use the slide release if I can. It's definitely grippy. I held it a couple times in a shooting position. It doesn't look like it's going to have any interference problems because it is basically the factory size there. But, you know, we'll definitely take it out to the range and test it out, and we'll see. Something interesting to note is you guys look, you'll notice that the ridges on that are kind of canted to meet with where your thumb would flick it. So that's kind of a neat little touch. And, you know, in the pictures I've seen, they all look horizontal, but it's definitely not a horizontal texture there. It's definitely canted a little bit. So we'll test that out. And then down here at the bottom, we got this little plug for the grip. I'm going to be testing that out as well. I'm going to drop the mag real quick. But you guys can kind of see it just pops right in there. There's a little button back here. I had to work at getting it out, but if you just pull really hard on this, it's going to pop out. And there's a rod on that that rides up in here, up in this hollow space normally. That's the takedown rod. So that's kind of handy to have with you as well. One less tool you got to bring with you to the range. You just have that on your insert there. You can take down the pin here and the pins up here and take your Glock completely apart if you know what you're doing. So just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. I'm not installing these plates for now. They're neat. They definitely match the color. You have some nice features, but I just use so many magazines. I just probably won't limit myself to the two that came with the weapon here, so I'll be changing out magazines frequently. But the thing I kind of like about using a normal floor plate there is it kind of accents the black of the plug, so it kind of makes it look a little more put together, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But next up, we'll get some range time with this. Put some rounds through it. Very impressed overall with everything initially. And I guess some people are probably wondering, well, why didn't they put this stuff into the factory? You know, it just takes a couple minutes to snap all this stuff in. What I heard was that Glock was strictly against putting anything out of the factory that they didn't install, or aftermarket parts that they would have to install, I should say, because, you know, they do plenty of testing and R&D on their stuff to make sure it's going to be quality and it's going to be what it says. So for them to put in aftermarket parts out of the factory might run into a little bit of a liability issue. But, you know, these are tested parts. Nobody has had any issues with reliability or anything with these parts, but kind of just something from Glock. You know, they didn't want to put something out of the factory with aftermarket parts that they installed in it. So those little things you can do yourself, or as the card says, you can have a certified Glock armor do it, or a professional gunsmith. But this is it. It's what it looks like all put together with everything in it. And again, the color just really is the most pleasant surprise for me, because I was worried it would be too much of a bright gray and to kind of stand out, but it is more of a concrete, almost dark gray. Again, I don't want to say charcoal because it's not really a charcoal color, but it's definitely a darker color gray. It does look like a professional firearm, and it does look like something you wouldn't be ashamed to carry or shoot, so that's kind of what I was looking for. It's Definitely nice, rich color there. So, if you guys have any comments or suggestions or anything, go ahead and post those in the comment section down below. But next up, we'll be getting some range time with this and see how it does out on the firing line. Thanks for watching.